We are going to be doing sovereign citizens today. Now, what is a sovereign citizen? That is actually a question that we will answer, hopefully by the end of the stream. But my own definition, what I think a sovereign citizen is basically an asshole that uses loopholes to try to make the law not apply to them. I feel like a lot of the times they know the shit doesn't work, and they just want to make themselves out to be a problem. That is a very weak definition. I think if we want to get a real definition of sovereign citizens, we should go somewhere a little more professional than me. Bam. Who are the sovereign citizens?
In 2010, 2 police officers were shot and killed by sovereign citizens in Arkansas during a routine traffic stop. In most cases, sovereign citizens tend to be more of a nuisance than a deadly threat. They claim that U.S. law does not apply to them and refuse to pay traffic tickets and taxes. However, a 2014 survey of law enforcement officers found that sovereign citizens were the #1 threat in the U.S., more so than even Islamic extremists or neo-Nazis. So,
okay, well, I know why the neo-Nazis aren't a threat to cops. Well, most cops aren't black, so there's that. And I guess Islamic terrorists, like, are Islamic terrorists?
So what exactly is more so than even Islamic?
I guess 9/11 happened. Oh, there was that. Oh, but this was in 2013, 2014. Islamic terrorists were above sovereign citizens, at least in 06 and 07. Yeah, Islamic terrorists were... These are all really small numbers, though.
Extremists or neo-Nazis.
Look at the KKK. Is the KKK the smallest on the list every fucking time? Yep. They're the KKK, which we covered on our first episode, at least some of them, are the least potential threat, apparently, to the U.S. Which, I mean, I guess it checks out. Homie had to jump up to get on the fucking stool, so I don't think he's going to be taking over any state buildings. You know what, let me just...
The concept is a little difficult to explain, mainly because it doesn't really make any sense. Basically, sovereign citizens believe that through a series of loopholes in common law court decisions, selective readings of the Constitution, and obscure tax codes, that they do not have to follow U.S. law. They tend to argue that often renounce their U.S. citizenship, driver's license, marriage license, voter registration, birth certificate, and anything else they see as a contract with the federal government. In nearly all cases, their claims are dismissed as frivolous. Most sovereign citizen organizations charge memberships or sell DVDs promising to explain how to achieve sovereign status. The movement was originally started by a 1960s Christian white supremacist group called Posse Comitatus.
Oh, so sovereign citizens have their roots in white supremacy? Who would have guessed that? Except for everybody.
The Constitution, and by extension the federal government, has express authority over citizens of the United States. This is according to Article 6 of the Constitution, known as the Supremacy Clause. Those who renounce their citizenship must do it in a foreign country and in front of a U.S. diplomat or consular. They cannot simply declare themselves sovereign while continuing to be U.S. diplomats.
You can actually consider yourself sovereign if you're in a different... The Constitution... Okay.
Those who renounce their citizenship must do it in a foreign country and in front of a U.S. diplomat.
In a foreign country, in front of a U.S. diplomat, they have to renounce their citizenship. I renounce my citizenship of the United States of America. As soon as you do that, the fucking Russians are just like, yes, brother, you are now ours. Like, no, I want to go back. Take me back. And then you're gone.
Or consular. They cannot simply declare themselves sovereign while continuing to live in the United States. As of 2010, the Southern Poverty Law Center estimated that there were about 100,000 hardcore sovereign citizens.
SPLC, baby!
Another 200,000 have attempted sovereign citizen arguments against things like traffic tickets and taxes. Although their beliefs are completely illegitimate and born out of anti-Semitic racism, they are a disruptive and growing force within the United States. Although the fear of Islamic extremists has reached an all-time high in the United States, attacks are actually almost non-existent.
Yeah,
Check out this video about what terrorist threats America is actually facing.
Oh, really? Sorry. We're getting into some sovereign citizens. That's a good little introduction. But he brought up the SPLC. So, let's talk about the SPLC. Or let's hear from the SPLC, rather.
2010 started out like any other day. Two veterans of our West Memphis, Arkansas Police Department, Bill Evans and Brandon Powdert, were patrolling the interstate as part of the department's drug interdiction team, something they love to do. They became involved in what seemed to be a routine traffic stop, though I've always warned my officers there is no such thing. But really, how much more routine can you get than pulling over a father and son in what looked like a church bus? My men didn't realize who or what they were dealing with. Neither officer made it home.
Damn.
And one of them was my son.
God damn. Are you kidding me?
Neither officer made it home.
Whew. He's
And
still
one of them was
shooting.
my son. I'm Bob Powdert.
So you ran up in that motherfucker with everybody, right? Like you ran up in there with every deputy that you had, just filled the house full of lead. That's what I mean, that's why I'm not a cop, but that's what I would have fucking did. Like you killed my son? All right, cool. I'm resigning as chief of police. I will turn in this particular gun and badge. There are other guns missing though. Those will be returned later. Possibly. And you just go get it.
Chief of the West Memphis Police Department. My officers, Bill and my son Brandon.
Sovereigns may record their encounters with police, possibly in an effort to intimidate the officers. They might warn the officer that they are recording the encounter and then say something like, "I am reserving all of my common law rights." Some of these recordings showing the officers are then posted on the Sovereign's websites. Now you have some knowledge on how Sovereigns operate. Form a strategy within your department with your training section, your tactical section, and your commanders, and be prepared to implement that strategy.
Oh, this is a
when you
police
encounter
training
Sovereigns.
video?
Have a procedure where you, your dispatchers, and your colleagues all understand that you're dealing with a sovereign citizen, a person who doesn't believe that you have any authority over them. These tips are only a few of the signs of possible sovereign beliefs. Just recognizing one or two.
All right. We have a little bit on sovereign citizens. Still a little bit. Let's see some in action, though.
Next, we're in Charleston.
I'm a witness. This is American National.
American National is another nod to the sovereign citizen movement that both he and the defendant identify with. Eventually, Eldon does respond to the magistrate, Ward Harshbarger, but still refuses to come forward.
The court reporter has to be established before
Yes.
anything can proceed.
Well, okay, well, get up in your seat now, and we will wait for that. You have some preliminary thing.
We're all waiting for the court reporter to be.
Do it now. All right, this is State versus Henry C. Eldon Jr. Mr. Eldon, I need to have a seat at the defendant's table.
For the record, I'm
Shut
a
up and
witness.
sit down.
Shut up and sit down.
Down.
Hold that shit down, Judge. Hold that
Seemingly
shit
getting
down.
more aggravated, the magistrate turns to his courtroom deputy for assistance.
Get his bitch ass out of here, deputy.
Would you get Mr. Eldon? Let me show you where the seat is, please.
May I have permissions?
You may
No.
have a seat right there.
I'm happy with
You may have a seat right there.
Eldon finally gets up.
Mr. Edwards, this is the time and place set for your arraignment. Do you consent to have an arraignment by video conference?
Sir, is this an maritime admiralty law courtroom?
Wow, you don't even know your shit, do you?
No, it's not.
Edwards considers himself a sovereign citizen who lives as a free man, as they like to say,
Free man.
under common law as established by the Founding Fathers. Maritime admiralty law that he's referencing is the law of the sea and international commerce,
the law
a body
of
of
the
law
sea.
that sovereign citizens believe to be the foundation
I
of the
love that
country's
shit.
modern.
What if they're just like, yeah, we go by pirate law? It's like, what? Why? Like, what about places that have never even seen an ocean? They still go by maritime law?
Legal system, which they reject.
This is not a maritime admiralty law courtroom.
Sir, I haven't said for the court how I'm appearing today,
well,
sir.
I'm not asking you yet. Just give me a moment, all right? I need to look at your record.
Turns out
It's what they don't realize is these fucking judges, like, they have to process all of these assholes, okay? And you think you're the only one with a shtick? You think you're the only one that has a try to get out of jail free card? They deal with these bullshits all the time. They know how to process your bitch ass out as fast as they can.
Hall is currently out on bond for 2 previous charges of driving with a suspended license. But that's not going to stop him from trying to make his case.
The settler, the agent, the individual, and even the person, David Hall, not to be able to be released from the Broward County Jail until further notice of the court. So,
may I post bond, sir?
No.
Now it's Judge Hurley's turn to have some fun.
Well,
is there any other?
Are you asking me as the settler, the agent, the individual, or are you asking me as the person?
God damn it, the judge is already roasting your
Sir,
ass.
I'm asking as the individual appearing before you today, the opportunity.
Who are you speaking on behalf of right now?
Sir, I don't understand that question. I believe that you're trying to confuse me now. I'm not the person, sir.
Okay, when
I am
you
not
see the person,
person.
David Hall, tell him he's not leaving jail either, all right?
Let him fucking know.
Down the middle.
You see the laugh on the fucking CO's face?
Okay, thank you.
Look at that shit.
Thank you, sir.
He's like, yeah, motherfucker, you thought. That's what you thought.
The bailiff is finally done discussing the matter.
Stand up, please. Sir, treat others as you would wish to place. I'm being nice. Well, I'm not going to assist in my own arrest. So. I don't. You should take your hands off that man. Please stand up.
As Davis is wheeled out, the group continues to insult the bailiffs.
Ever considered like a real job? One where you don't use violence against people?
Despite their protests, the court has authority to make rules about conduct in the courtroom. So a short time later, the judge returned to the courtroom and sentenced Bo Davis to 5 days in jail. Cap, 21-year-old Robert Peterson. He's the person filming this footage.
Dick Peterson.
The Kootenai County Courthouse in Idaho.
That has to go through the X-ray machine if you want to come in this building.
Peterson is a hearing for a minor traffic infraction, riding his bicycle at night without a light. But from the moment he steps inside the door, it's clear this won't be a typical security check.
And I'd just like to know where your warrant is.
I don't need it.
It's clearly posted on the entrance building.
What? Clearly posted that I have to forfeit my right to be free from unreasonable search and seizure?
Coming into this building.
Yeah, every person is. I'm not a person. I'm a man.
What are you?
And more specifically, a free man. Peterson considers himself a sovereign citizen.
Free man on the lam.
Your jurisdiction, and the court has already confirmed that. I'm here for one purpose. All right.
You can submit or you can leave.
That's fine.
Submit.
I mean,
submit. I would rather die.
Peterson finds a seat at the rear of the courtroom and continues filming.
Sir, there are no cameras in the court.
Excuse me?
There are no cameras in the courtroom.
Yeah, there is.
No, you have to put that away.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Under what authority?
You have to have a court order from a judge before you can have a camera in the courtroom.
Okay, well, I'm going to capture this on video.
You got to turn it off.
It's for both of our protection.
Well, you have to turn it off.
No, thank you.
Dumbass.
Enter bailiff number 2.
Shut the camera off now.
No, thank you. I do not consent to you touching me or seizing my property, so you need to back up.
Shut the camera off now.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm holding you. I'm going in.
No, you're not going in.
Don't touch me.
You're not going in, sir.
Let the record show that you just battered me.
Step back.
And you're using...
Step back.
After Peterson refuses to step back, Chief Bailiff Pete Barnes fires his taser.
You weren't ready for that taser.
Stop, please. I'm not doing anything wrong. Hey, you know what? You guys are really overstepping your bounds right now.
What are you arresting me for?
You guys are really
The answer to that
overstepping your
question?
bounds.
Peterson's charged with 3 counts of battery and 1 count of contempt of
How
court.
many? Like 2 months.
He would later
Like 2
enter an
months.
Alford plea, meaning he didn't admit to committing a crime, but acknowledged there was likely enough evidence to convict him. Jail time was waived as part of the plea deal, and he was ordered to pay a fine for his original charge of riding a bike at night without a light.
There is.
Goodbody, a Riverside resident, believes there's too much regulation in government. So he's taken his fight to the road, where all of us spend a lot of time. But Goodbody travels without registration, without a license, and without insurance.
Insurance is a scam.
Knowing police will pull him over,
Couple cameras already running.
he's ready with a camera.
Okay, do you have any identification on you? No, I don't carry identification. I follow God's law. You know,
Bundy family. The Bundy family in Oregon. Were they murdered? Because I think of Ted Bundy. I think of Al Bundy. In Oregon, I don't think I know the Bundy family. We can look into it.
What most people don't know is Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, which gives Congress the ability to kind of set conditions for statehood. But of course, there are many ranchers who use this federal land, and one of them is the name Cliven Bundy. There he is right there. Now, Cliven is a member of the Sovereign Citizens Movement, and personally, as an individual...
Boom! You called it, homie. He is a sovereign citizen.
He rejects the authority and the legality of the United States
I
government.
talked to them, and they ain't hurting a damn thing down there. They brought us all together. They're waking people up.
I'm proud to be a rancher.
It's been almost a week now since the militia led by Ammon Bundy have been occupying the Mallow Wildlife Refuge headquarters. And whilst the people of Harney County are happy that the issues faced by ranchers have been raised by the occupation, they're getting pretty tired of it carrying on for so long and the disruption that the occupation has caused. So we're going to head up to the refuge and see really if this militia are here for the long haul.
Let's see.
What they want is a restoration of the true, actually legitimate form of government. They believe Trump is the savior of humanity, and they would happily see Trump to be the sovereign ruler of the United States for the rest of his life.
Well, let's not mince words then. Like, we call these conspiracy theories, but is this just fascism by another name?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
definitely.
These people, they crave authoritarian rule. They fantasize about a military crackdown, a coup, essentially, in which a military junta rules over us, with the sort of the consent of Trump. So yeah, these are authoritarian fascists, and their ultimate goals are fascist.
And somehow it all ends with Donald Trump in January 6th. But that is sovereign citizens.